Exactly. Who will see my information, the safety of my data? These are fundamental big issues and concern. All of us, somebody said employee training. I love it. That's so true. Employee training is a big one also. Are we training our employers? Now, I'll tell you this for sure. Sometimes people take that for granted. You're only as weak as your weakest link. Your weakest link mostly are your employees that officially have access to your systems. So legally they have access to your system. So they are more dangerous in my opinion because now these guys have access to the system. And that means anything can happen. I don't need to, provide oversight because officially they have access. I like the alienal insider trade. That's a big one. So it's a big, big concern for me, right? At the end of the day, okay. Thank you. That's awesome. You guys are awesome, man. Okay, let's get into the details of it. For some of us that have never heard of the whole concept of what is a risk, what is a threat, what is vulnerability, what is control, let's keep it simple. A risk is possibility of a harm or loss that can disrupt your business objective or operation in general. So that's a risk, right? Anything that can harm us is a risk. What is the threat? Anything that can exploit a potential vulnerability and cause harm. A burglar is a threat, a hacker is a threat, a natural disaster for our California folks. I thought with you, it's been a devastating experience, and we know for sure that is a huge disaster right now. Vulnerability is a weakness in a system or process that can be exploited by a threat. So anything that can be exploited by a threat you know, um, is vulnerability. So you have to understand that, okay, what about controls? All of those safeguards, measures we put in place to potentially prevent, detect, or mitigate a risk. Those are controls. So let me ask you, what do you guys think? Let me open the floor. If I have a door in my house, what is that? Is that a risk, a threat, a vulnerability, or control? Let's see. What do you guys think? Thank you, control. Okay, let me take it a little bit step further. What is the door supposed to do? Is it supposed to be a preventive, a detective, or a corrective control? What do you guys think? I love that. Preventive control. Love it. You guys are awesome, man. All right. I've guys way smarter than I am. Yeah. All right. Cool, cool, cool. Awesome. Let's take it a step further. What about if I have camera in my house? You know, would that be a preventive control, a detective control, or a corrective control? What do you guys think? I love that detective because it's detecting a potential burglar in this case, right? All right. What do you guys, how would you classify an insurance? I have home burglar insurance. How would you classify that? Is that preventive, detective, or corrective control? What kind of control is that? I like that. Somebody said mitigation. Yeah, yeah, that's a mitigation. But it's corrective in nature? Yeah. Okay. Perfect. We can also make it like a mitigation against certain risk so that it can, potentially help us to mitigate certain risk mitigation compensation. Okay, yeah. Got it. Got it. You guys are oof. Okay. I like somebody the boogeyman. All right, cool, cool, cool. Okay, great. Okay, let's go to the next one. I like that. Now let's talk about the big one we're going to talk about later tonight. When you guys work, be ready for this. In most organizations, we have ways we categorize the risk. Many times you would have risk analysts in your organization. So you might not really work with them directly in some cases. They would have possibly done this. But think about it for a second. When a risk is identified, somebody needs to classify and tell us, how do we categorize this risk? Is it an operational risk? Let's pause for a second. Operational risk simply says it's going to obstruct the day to day operation of your business. Let me ask you guys, if my internet goes down, what do you think that is? What will I classify that as? Or if my server goes down, business disruption, operation? Yes, that's operation because those are our day to day tasks. God forbid, amen, not tonight. Let's say our Zoom suddenly goes off right now, right? That is an operation. That's operational risk, right? Because right now it means that we're not going to be able to talk to each other, right? That's horrible. Okay, let's take it a step further. Okay, now if we make a long-term goal to move as Amazon, for example, to scale from North America to Europe, what do you think we should consider that as? Possibly strategic, because now we're saying, and you're right, sometimes it can overlap. We might say, well, are we thinking of the is strategic or is it financial? You can make a judgment call in your business. If that's what you guys classify it, that's what it is, that's fine. But I'm just giving an example. If I'm moving to Europe from the US, it's a strategic move, or Europe or US to an emerging market. So let's say I go to Venezuela, I go to Brazil, I go to Africa, I go to Middle East, and in my head I also have to think about the dynamics of those environments, right? Let's go into financials too. So anything that has to do with potentially losing money. Let's face it, folks. At the end of the day, it's a business, right? Let's be honest. Right? Look, for 1 second, let's face the reality. Forget the old big noise, cyber, whatever. It doesn't matter. The first thing is there's a business to run. And the last I checked, if it's a business, the intent is also to make money because a lot of livelihood depends on the business. So there's no emotion in it. It's just strictly business, right? Because of that, there are certain things that involve financial losses. So those will be considered financial risk. So in your business, you're not going to just say operational risk, strategic risk. You also have to think of the financial risk to the business, right? Yes, I know it's cyber we're talking about, but it also has financial risk, operational risk, strategic risk. Every one of those elements has those categories of risk that can be aligned to your business goals. Another one, compliance risk. Let's think for a second. How many of us are aware of GDPR beside my European folks? Let's see, how many of us are aware of GDPR? Okay, let's pause. Now, these guys don't play games. My European guys on the and ladies on the call would agree with me. They don't play games at all. They don't. You know, um, Facebook was fined, I think, 1.3 billion euro the last about a few months ago, and a lot of companies are fined all the time. They don't play games. Every violation, they would come for you big time. In Canada, they have Pipeda. They don't play games too. So these guys, and in the US, for example, there are so many states now that have their own privacy regulation. Of course, we have EPA, PCI DSS, a lot of regulation out there, but these guys will come after you big time. They will find you crazy. So because of that, everybody, it's in our best interest to make sure we're in compliance with all of these regulations. So there's a compliance risk that we have to make sure we are not fined. Now, somebody's asking, well, they will just fine me. Okay, pause. Think for 1 second. I'll use Facebook as an example. They were fined 1 point something billion a few months after they laid off. Okay, I'm not a magician or a soothsayer, but I suspect there might be a correlation between excessive fine and layoff because your shareholders, your board, if you are the chairman or the CEO, they will look at you and wink. Huh, you just got fined £2 billion or dollars. Are you saying my profit for this year would be impacted? You answer that. Somebody said reputational risk. Freddie Akpaka, my brother, also. That's a big one also. Sometimes also you could have reputational risk. Now, of course, remember again, every organization you might have different categories of risk you've identified. And Fred is a risk analyst himself, so he knows a lot about it. So you can determine in your organization how does this align? What kind of risk is this to my organization? All right. And many times, this is why it's important. You need to make sure you get the buy-in of leadership once you categorize or classify the risk. So they would agree with you and say, oh, you know what, that's right. This is what they classify it as. And it's equally very important in any organization. So that's a big one. Thank you very much. Okay. Legal risk. There's also legal risk. Yes. There's reputational risk. So you can sneak that in also when you do your exercise tonight. You don't have to just stick to these four categories. You can always include other risk. There could be legal risk, there could be reputational risk, and so just put all those risks you think is applicable in this scenario. Okay. All right. Let's talk about the steps involved in analyzing those risks in general. For most people, the first step is, do we have a process to even identify the risk? Now, let's pause. Identifying the risk, believe it or not, many times is as simple as we are brainstorming and talking about it, which you're going to do tonight. We're just talking about the risk. Sometimes we overthink it. Believe it or not, what I'm thinking, two, three people are probably thinking the same thing. It's just maybe I was quick to say it. That's all. So we are probably thinking the same thing that, oh, that's a financial risk. Oh, that's a reputational risk. Oh, that's a legal risk. We are probably thinking the same thing, but we just have to speak it up. Another thing people do is that sometimes they make it formal. They say SWOT analysis, strength, weakness, opportunity, threat. But the big one I've seen is brainstorming and historic data. Let me ask you, let me put you in the spotlight. If I analyze historic data of my business, let me ask you, how just feel free to type. Tell me some ways I can analyze historic trend of a business. Just type it. Let's see what you guys think. So if I'm saying, oh, you know what, hey, this environment might be bad because of what kind of historic data will I be looking for? Go ahead and type. Financial records, love it. Market analysis, love it. Yeah, that's true. Because sometimes reports, check the log, reviews, love it. Sales data, impact assessment, you guys are awesome. SOC 2 report, love it. So now, many times, the historic data I'm looking for would be your potentially, if you have bad publicity in the news, none of us need a rocket science to tell me, Target had a bad year with exposure in 2013, I believe, for their third party vendor. Those are open information. Last few months, we had CrowdStrike that happened last year sometime. So these are things that are in the news, right? So that's an open secret, right? Those are trends. Or I look at your logs, or I look at your past reports, audit report, SOC report, assessment report, internal. So I get all this information from your past trend. I can even look at your risk log. I can look at your mitigation log, to check all the issues that you were supposed to fix. Have they been fixed? That will give me a story about your environment. That's it, really. I can tell a story real quick, looking at all your past trends, right? So, very important also. Risk assessment, tonight we're going to jump into it. I like that. That's a big one, Bumi. Risk register is also a big one, meaning we have a register, we track risk. What has been fixed, what has been remediated. That's it. You maintain it somewhere. So, all of your issues, you can figure it out. I like that Kweku. Kweku says data tells the story, and that's so factual. Many times, your data will tell us the story, and that's what gives us the trend. Okay, this is the trend in general. Risk mitigation. Now, let's pause. At the end of the day, I forgot to sneak this in. For risk assessment, we have to have a matrix. For all of us, if you don't mind, type this real quick. When you talk about your report matrix in general, the big one is I need you to say likelihood and impact. Can we quickly type that if you don't mind? Likelihood and impact. Let's go real quick. And many times when you hear that word, don't stress it. It means that, okay, we are sitting down to determine what is the likelihood of this happening and what will be the impact. That's it. The likelihood and the impact in general. That's it. Now, again, remember the satire we watched? You know, you might say you're in a state called Texas. Are we likely to have a earthquake? Maybe no. What about the impact? The impact might be bad because, man, the state has never had such. We don't have any response team to do it. So the impact might be horrible. But the likelihood is very low, you know? But there's a small likelihood. That is still bad. But when you do your risk assessment, you're thinking, oh, guys, don't let's waste too much time on this. The last earthquake happened maybe 300 years ago. Maybe that's what they have data for. So in your head, you're saying it's not going to happen. But at the same time, let's think for a second, you know, what about if it happens? You know? So those are the things that people think about all the time. Risk mitigation, let's talk about this real quick. Everybody, can we type mitigation, risk mitigation, everybody, if you don't mind, real quick? Risk mitigation, real quick, if you don't mind, please. This is very important. I'll tell you one thing, everybody on this call. If you get a job today, we've been blessed this last, believe it or not, we are just how many days to the year? 12, 13 days. We've had four of us in our communities. So we are thankful to God for that. But one thing I've seen is that many times when our team begin a project, they get an offer, they begin a project, the top on the list of the project is they make them to go do mitigation stuff. They have all this list of issues they should go fix. Maybe it's been there before they got there, and they ask them to go follow up and see if they can get it fixed. It's like the rookie in the house. The easiest thing to give a rookie is give them go figure out trash for us. These are we've had aging issues that have been there for the last sometimes for 3 years. I've seen environment they have aging issues that are honestly 5 years. Now, sometimes it's not because they are horrible or slothful. Sometimes it requires budgets, which they don't have. Don't forget it's a business first. If you go and force me to go and I don't have the budget. It's not like I know what I should do. I just don't have the money to fix it because it might mean bringing a technology in or hiring people or building new processes. Whatever the story is, it's important to understand that and say we are aware of it. However, we have compensating control to kind of mitigate that risk. Okay. Monitoring and review. Let's quickly list this, everybody, if you don't mind. Let's say monitoring and review real quick. Can we type real quick? Monitoring and review. Let's go real quick. Now, this is equally very important because at the end of the day, it's almost like your Six Sigma define, measure, analyze, improve, control. It's always at the end of the day, you have to figure out a way to have that loop of continuously monitoring an environment and reviewing the environment all the time. So it's a very critical part of the process. If you don't sneak that into your conversation, it will be called a gap because it will show you don't have an oversight. Because guess what? All of us can agree. One of the bigger risks right now is AI everywhere in the world, right? So imagine if I don't have a monitoring and review, how would I know we need to have a loop to check the AI side of things, right? So it's just a little bit, it has to be there. That's the bottom line. Okay. So always think that in. All right, cool. All right. So this is what a risk matrix tool look like in general. It will talk about your risk description, the likelihood of it happening, the impact, and the priority in general. For example, a risk here is phishing attack, server downtime, non-compliance. The likelihood for phishing attack, all of us will agree. Remember the prince that has $1 million and wants you to send them $5,000 so that they will now send you back $100,000. The math is not even adding up, right? Then somebody gets excited and send a prince 5,000 so that they can get 100,000. You know what I mean? It's crazy, right? But those phishing attacks are so much out there, right? A lot of spam emails, spam calls everywhere. Now it's getting worse. You know why? In the past, historically, malicious folks don't have time to spell check their emails, but they don't need to spell check email. They'll use AI tools to write the English for them, and they'll just use it to send messages to, unknown, um, innocent people. So, but this is what a risk matrix, risk assessment template looks like. You're going to do one tonight in a bit, but just give you a heads up. Another one you see is we have a control mitigation table whereby you have your risk, the control associated to that risk. What is your mitigation strategy to this particular risk? Because at the end of the day, let me tell you what I've seen, and some of you agree with me in the field already. It's not enough to tell me there's a problem. People know there's a problem all the time. They don't care. Don't tell me as a matter of fact, let me tell you the truth. For some of us in, my brother Fred is online, a lot of us in consulting world, and you know, the clients already know what their problem is. Let's face it. Most times, they need you to independently give them a report they can use to challenge their management and say, listen, these guys came in independently. Look at what they told us is the problem. So your leadership respect it more because it's not from you, it's from a third party, innocent. For you, you're happy because, as a matter of fact, what I've seen, sometimes the client will come to me and my team and say, listen, don't stress yourself. Look at all our problems. Look, we have this one. So that even when you do your assessment, you're doing an audit or whatever you're doing, they are happy to tell you what the problem is. So they don't want you to even go and find it. They are finding it for you. They're telling you already, listen, we have this problem, we have this problem. And the reason they're doing that is, for me, it's okay. We are using each other, right? For them, they need to use you to write a report, to make recommendation for their management to buy a tool, a new technology, or to hire more people. Okay, fine. We're using each other, no problem. On my side, you've listed all your problem and I can add it in my report too, right? And I'll independently verify them. So it's a win-win for everybody, right? And ultimately the goal is to make the process more efficient, reduce our risk. So whether you tell me or I find it, doesn't matter. We're happy, we all win together, okay? So that's a popular thing out there. So it's not enough to tell me there's a problem. People want to know, what's your recommendation? What can they do? Take it even a step further to tell them this is even the timeline. If you want to fix it, you'll blow their mind because now you're taking it a step, you're taking it from a basic level to deep strategy level. And 80% of the time, they would use that recommendation. If you tell them the priority of what they should fix first, they would respect that big time. Okay, let's go down that one. So, again, for those of us that are in our cyber program, I will just touch this high level. This is one of the framework out there we use to map different security control. NIST is a popular one. Identify, protect, detect, respond, recover. We have a full class for this, but just to make you know, these are some framework out there. ISO 27001 is another one out there. It's used for information security management. It's also a good one out there that we use. It's part of our program also. Fair factor analysis of information risk. This is really geared a lot towards quantitative analysis of risk. Some people use this, so it's a good one out there in the industry also. CIS controls is one of the controls out there that some people use to benchmark and map. It's a new one I'm putting in a new class coming up. So we're going to add CIS into the upcoming class for our folks starting this Saturday also. But it's a good one out there just to know. Um, and really, the takeaway is these are the fundamentals of risk in general: risk, threat, vulnerability controls, categories of the different risk. It could be operational, strategic, financial, compliance, legal, reputational, or whatever classification the organization has. Many times at the end of the day, you should have a structured table that will tell you the risk, the likelihood, the impact, the overall risk, or however your business structure it. Ultimately, also, every organization would have framework, guideline they use to benchmark their security control. Why is it important? If you don't do it and benchmark your existing controls to some leading practice like NIST, ISO, folks like me that were external auditors in the past or independent consultants will come in and chew you because we're going to come in and say they will be definitely messed up. If you are not benchmarking to those leading practices, I know for sure you're a gold mine for chaos and disaster. So I know. So in my mind, I'm already thinking this will be pretty bad for this person in general. So just something to take note of as a whole. Okay, cool. So without much ado, we're going to jump into the first quiz. Then we jump into our action. So the quiz is going to be very simple. Just kind of gauge us and see if we have been following or not. It's fun stuff, folks. So let's really enjoy it. It's just about a few questions. Let me show you guys real quick. All right, all right, all right. Pretty cool. Cool, cool, cool one. All right, let's quickly. I will make it in team mode. All right. So when we do team mode, we try to, we always cause problem, between our teams. So we would have team Chelsea, Chelsea for my football fans. All right. Old faithful Arsenal. All right. Let's go to Real Madrid, folks. Okay. Not to get people mad here. Let's just sneak in Barcelona. Yesterday's game was brutal. But all right. So let me share the link. You'll see the link in the group real quick. So just go ahead and just quickly, let's see, and I'll share my screen so you all can see the screen also. Okay. So you all can see the screen. The code is the number is 409-7471. 409-7471. Let's do that real quick. Shouldn't take more than 5 minutes. Let's go. 409-7471 real quick. Oh, somebody's getting mad that we should put Liverpool. Okay. Let's see if we can stick in Liverpool for my Liverpool folks. Liverpool. All right. We just think in Liverpool. Let's see if some. Oh, money. Okay. I can see my Liverpool fans are not playing games. All right. Let's see. Okay. If you don't mind, just quickly join. It's always nice to kind of just. Broske in the house. Oh, man. I forgot Man U. Sorry. Oh, okay. Okay, let's just start real quick. And if you can still go ahead and join, just feel free to join real quick. Just test the knowledge. It's a good way to kind of think and force yourself to think through it real quick. Let's do that real quick. So, which is an example of vulnerability? What's an example of a vulnerability? Remember again, can be exploited. Love it. Outdated software, I agree. And again, yeah, outdated software is a vulnerability that can be exploited. Okay. Okay, Barcelona is not playing games. Okay. What is a risk? What is a risk? What do you call risky? What is a risk? All right. Possibility of harm. That's right. That's right. And don't worry, I know, still trying to get our groove in this. Oh, Real Madrid is not joking. They are coming close, Barcelona. True or false? Controls can be preventive. True or false? Controls can be true or false. That's right. Which risk is operational? Which of the risk here is operational? All right. Yeah. And I know, sometimes we're still trying to figure this. Whoa, Real Madrid just took over. What is going on here? All right. True or false? Compliance risk involve financial losses. Compliance risk involves financial losses. Okay. Wow. Chelsea is coming close. What is the first step in risk analysis? That's identification. I agree. Okay. Real Madrid is. Which tools help prioritize risk? Which of the tools help us to prioritize the risk? True or false? Mitigation involves accepting risk. What does ISO 27001 focus on? Excellent. Wow, Real Madrid is not joking. What is the purpose of a risk matrix? What is the purpose? That's right, prioritize risk. Which risk category involves legal adherence? Compliance risk. Awesome. Oh boy, Barcelona is getting closer. Let's see if you guys can pull a surprise. Double point. Which framework uses a quantitative model? I intentionally mentioned that in earlier on. Quantitative model. Which of them? Perfect. Wow. Man, Real Madrid is not joking, man. Barcelona, let's see if we can pull a upset here. Final question. Double point again. Which control limits admin privileges? Which control limits admin privileges? Excellent. So let's see. Woohoo! Podium. Third place, Chelsea. Second place is Real Madrid. No way! And the winner, undisputed champion, Barcelona. No way! Barcelona pulled a surprise. Whoa! All right, that was awesome, man. That was awesome. I don't know how you guys pulled that surprise. Whoa! I already gave up on you guys. Sorry. All right, never give up on people. I was thinking, oh, it would be hard to catch Real Madrid there, but you guys proved me wrong. So awesome job, guys. There it is. That was awesome. Love it. Okay, I'll share that winning board with the larger group. All right, thank you, everybody. So now let's get to the meat of it. That was awesome. Thank you, team. That was really cool stuff. Okay, so what we're gonna go do next is very, very simple. We're gonna go in now and actually, begin to do some work. And I'll show you what we're gonna do real quick. It's fairly simple. Let me share my screen. Then I'll share it in the community. Zoom does not allow us to share, for some reason. I can't share but I'll just share with the larger team, so we should be fine. I believe. Let me see something here. 1 second. All right. All right. Let me quickly share my screen. You guys will see it in a bit. So this is what I'm going to share in the larger group. It's the same document. You know what? Let me first show you what you have access to this also, but it's the same document similar to this. Let me show you guys real quick. This is the master one, all right, without the workbook. This is what you guys have. The example is there. You can see the example. You can do your thing. You can do this on your own later. But everything is there, really. This is the masterpiece. But I will now share with you the actual workbook I want us to use tonight. And this is what the workbook looks like. So in the workbook, I want us to just work. Look at the first one. There are three exercises we're going to do. And honestly, let's do one together. Then I'll let you guys do the rest, okay? So this is the first one. All right. The first one is I give an example here. I left it here intentional. Let me see if you guys are seeing my screen. I think so. Okay. So if I come here and say, employee received fraudulent email designed to steal credential or sensitive information, what risk category would you give this? Let me add here reputational risk, reputational, legal. You can add any risk you want to. I think I have legal already, actually. Okay, I just added reputational risk. Okay. So for the first one here, what do you think what would you guys consider we should put there? Can you type it so we can work on this together? We'll do the first two together, then you guys will work on the other ones. What do you guys think? Operational, operational. Okay, a lot of you said operational. Okay, we can do that. Operational risk. All right, let's look at the second one. For unauthorized access to customer data due to inadequate encryption or security control, what kind of risk do you think we should give this one? Okay, I see compliance risk here. Compliance risk, security risk. You can actually depends on your organization, you can still call it security risk. So it depends on whatever your classifications are, right? Okay, let's say now this is where the tricky thing comes in. In your you will start debating this in real life, right? You guys will start debating it in your group. But let's say let's jump to this one. This one will be more straightforward. Let me ask you guys. Failure to adhere to GDPR requirements for data handling and privacy protection. What do we call that one? What do you guys think we should give that one? Let me see what you guys have. Compliance. Okay. I think I can do that too. Compliance risk. Okay, perfect. That's awesome. Okay. All right. So we agree on that one. So I'll let you guys work on the other three, right? Okay, let's go to the second one. I left an example so you can see what it looks like. So yeah, In this environment, you know, if you look at the original document, I kind of give scenarios and say they have a history of past attack. So if I ask you for data breach, what is the likelihood of, look at them. They said the site has a history of frequent cyber attack and recurring compliance issues related to access control and incident response, as highlighted in a recent audit report. Assess the likelihood impact and overall risk of the following scenario. So what do you think data breach likelihood would be for these guys? Aye. Okay. All right. All right. I'll probably agree. What about the impact on the business? What do you guys think? I also. Then overall risk level, we can say what? Maybe I too. That's fair enough. Okay. So you get the gist. So really what I just did right now, this one is actually a risk matrix, risk assessment matrix, really. So what about financial fraud? What do you guys think here? Or let's say, let's do okay, you know what? It's okay. Since it's just two left, I'll let you guys work on the other two. All right, look at the third one. The third one we have here is look at the risk mitigation table. Remember again, at the end of the day, you guys will tell me what's the control. And this is where AI comes in my opinion. If you quickly type in and say unauthorized system access, what are the control? Tell me a mitigation strategy for it. It will give you, right? I'll let you guys figure this out real quick. If I was to do this, I'll probably just quickly use, AI to say, okay, for unauthorized system access, what would be a control, a mitigation action to use? So let me show you what I would do, right? Let me show you guys real quick. If I was to, um, if I was to do this, how I would handle it, right? Again, you can always play around the way you feel is appropriate. But you know what? I'll make you all just work with that with your AI tools, okay, in your group session. Now, the final thing I'll make you see, which is the beauty of everything we are doing today, is let me share my screen real quick again. This is the cream of it, in my opinion. After we've done that, all you need to do, ladies and gentlemen, copy this prompt. You just say using the risk provided along with their categories, whatever you fill here, let's say you fill your information here, whatever you filled in those tables, just copy them here, copy and paste them under here. Okay. All I did was to paste what was above, just paste them under here. Then use this prompt here. All right. And it will generate reports for you. Let me show you what my own report looks like. If I click on this, all right, let me show you guys. And I'll just simply, and don't stress it if you've never used AI tools, don't worry about that. We'll show you guys how to do that in our program. For those of us joining our program already, so don't stress that at all. But let me show you guys what this would look like if I come here. Let me share my screen real quick. All right, so you all can see here now. All I did is I'll just paste it here, and I'll click. All I did was to copy and paste whatever report. But look at what it's giving me. It's giving us the executive summary, the summary of finding based on what you guys did. Make sure you use your own data points of what is risk or not. It gave me an action plan. It just simulated some timeline for me. Bingo. In reality, I'll just copy and paste this as a draft of my first report. All right. Very, very, very straightforward. Okay. All right, cool. So let's quickly, I'm going to share with you. If you have access to the Skillweed portal, please register. If you don't, you will not have access, but don't worry, I'll share it in the larger group. But please just go and pick it up. It's there. Once you register, it's already there. All you need to do is to log on. Our program, we have access to our learning management system. So look at everything I'm talking about is here really. You can see our Zoom. You can see even the link to the Satire is here. You can see the PDF document we used today. You can see the book we designed for this program. We can see the quiz. You can actually go take a quiz yourself. And this is the class resource. So everything is there. But for the purpose of tonight, I'll do what think it's going to make it a little bit easy for everybody. I'll quickly share in the group. So Most of you are in multiple groups, pardon us. So we'll just quickly share it with you guys in the group for the next 2 minutes. I'll say V2. You guys will see me share it in the WhatsApp group. Pick it up from there. I'm sharing it right now. Let's start with Skillweed internship, folks. Oh, sorry, we have some people that have joined and they've not been able to. Oh, sorry, guys. Oh man, some people will be mad at me today. We could not add them to the group. Sorry, guys. Yeah, you guys joined late. That's why. But let me quickly share it in the internship group. You guys will see a document I just shared right now. Pick it up. It's called version 2. It's a Word document. You can use that real quick. Oh, please don't freeze on me. Okay, I just shared that book. Once you get it, do me a favor. Can you guys give me a thumbs up here? I just shared this book in the WhatsApp group. Let me see if I got that shared. Oh, if you got it, just give me thumbs up to know you got it. Kindly give me thumbs up if you got the workbook we're gonna use right now. All right, let's say 1, 2. Just give me thumbs up so I know that you guys have it. All right, let me share another one real quick. It's the same thing I'm sharing. Just give me thumbs up. If you got it, please kindly give me thumbs up to know you got it. Um, do we all have it already? Oh, I think I'm sharing it multiple times. Okay. Please check your workbook real quick, everybody. You should have it now. If you have it, just give me thumbs up. Then, all right. Okay. Somebody said got it. Okay. Okay. Most of us have gotten it. So if you did not get it, don't worry. Once we get into our group thing, you would. So what we do is this. Let me tell you ahead of time. Let me warn you. The beauty of this is when you wait and see our final report, because honestly, it would. That's your validation. You're doing a risk categorization, risk assessment, coming up with a mitigation plan, then you're giving your leadership report. That's what you're doing. And it will make them immediately value you because you are thinking from a perspective of categorizing the risk, conducting an assessment of the risk, coming up with a mitigation plan on issues with the risk, and giving me a report on what you did. So I think it's brilliant. Okay. So we're going to work together real quick. You would notice I'll put you in a group. We're about, you would see us in a group of about 6 or 7 groups. Please be on the group and take leadership. Everybody can talk there and somebody can take leadership because I'll make you present. We would have 7 groups. We'll just present your report real quick. We're going to work for like 20 minutes. We'll be done. Quickly work on it, report, use the prompt, and we'll be done. I'm going to make you present real quick and we'll be out of here, okay? So let me put us in a group. And please, this is the meat of it. Don't leave now. This is very, very, I'll make it just 5 groups so that we can, as much as possible, just enjoy the process together, okay? And once you are in the group, just anybody can just take leadership, okay? Don't wait for anyone, just say, okay, can I share my screen? Somebody can share their screen, and I've allowed everybody to be able to share. So let's have fun real quick, folks. We'll make it like how many group? Let's see. I'll do like 8 groups, and out of the 8 groups, we'll randomly select 3 groups to just present to us. So apologies if we don't select your group, okay, to present. All right, let's go real quick and have fun, folks. This is the most important piece. Please don't leave now. Be engaged now. This is the Everything we've done is good, but honestly, this is the most important piece of it. So make sure you're around. Once I open the group, you'll hear silence for like a minute. Don't worry, don't stress out. It's just for like a few seconds. It will bring us back afterwards. So don't stress it, okay? All right, let's start it right now. All right, welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much, everybody. Awesome job. So, if you don't mind, if you are presenting for your group, I know room one, I have, I believe Debbie, or um, if you are presenting for your group, do me a favor, just raise your hands up so I can see you and just get you ready. I'll share some link also so you guys can, follow us on YouTube, follow us on LinkedIn. I'll send all those links so you guys can be in tune with what's going on all around our ecosystem. Make sure you follow us. It's a lot of amazing things we learn from each other, and you can grow as a professional, as a team. So if you are presenting, if you don't mind, just raise your hands and I'll see you. Just raise your hands. There's an icon. You can click so that I will see you if you raise your hands. Please go ahead and raise your hands, please. And I'll quickly give you access to present to us. If you don't mind, please go ahead and do that real quick. All right. Thank you, Ellen. Your show. Go ahead, Ellen, and you can just go ahead and share.
All right. Hello.
Hello.
Okay. All right. So we use ChatGPT and we input the information, the summary findings for the exercise one, two, and three. And so here are our answers as far as the risk categories, the identified risks and categories. Employees receive fraudulent emails designed to steal credentials or sensitive information. We consider that was a given an operational risk. Unauthorized access to customer data due to inadequate encryption or security controls. We consider that a security risk.
Yeah.
Malicious software encrypts critical systems and demanding payment for decryption. We said was an operational risk. Failure to adhere to GDPR requirements for data handling and privacy protection was a compliance risk. Vendor security vulnerability exposes the organization's data was a third party risk. Cybersecurity breach compromises customer payment information was an operational risk. And
Awesome.
competitors launch a similar product at a lower price was a strategic risk. Shipping delays due to a natural disaster was an operational risk. And regulatory fines for GDPR noncompliance was a compliance risk.
Excellent.
Okay.
Excellent.
All
All
right.
right.
And then we
Let me see
considered
action
the
plan.
likelihood and impact of the risk.
Okay.
Data breach
All
was
right.
high, likelihood was high, impact was high, and risk level was critical. The server downtime was medium, high, the impact was high, and risk level was high. And the
Okay.
GDPR noncompliance was low, the impact was medium, and the risk level was medium. And the financial fraud was high, likelihood was high, impact was high, and risk level was high.
Got it.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Awesome. Let me see the action plan. Just stay there, please. 1 second.
Mhm.
Don't read it. I'll just quickly check something.
Okay.
Okay. So, and guys, ladies, you can tell this is in. Let me tell you guys. In the past, putting a first draft typically takes a long time on the format and translating those technical language to business languages. But this makes our life much more easy because now we can actually, um, have a first draft that is meaningful that we can use. So this is really amazing, Elena. Let me see. You can even see they went as far as giving a timeline. Of
Yes.
course, your leadership would not always take it right, but at least if you give them some proposed timeline. Then, more importantly, is you also give them priority. You know, priority levels because your leadership wants to see what should we invest our resources in immediately. So this is really good. I love it. Now, of course, we're going to copy and paste it to Word document, right? This is
Right.
just because I didn't give you guys enough time, so I get it. But this is well done. Thank you so much,
All
Ellen.
right.
Very
Thank you.
well done. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. All right. Benny's, let's see. Benny's raised up her hands. Let me see who else. And you can, if you don't mind, Elena, please kindly stop sharing. Okay. Go ahead, Benny's. Thank you. And please apologies. We'll just take Benis and
Hello.
ZK, and that's it for they would, please, if you don't mind. Apologies, folks. Go ahead.
Hi everyone. Yeah, so we had maybe I think we missed some points there, but I'll just go through what we've got here.
Sure.
So critical observations, high priority risks with data breaches, malicious software. Oh no, sorry, no, let me go for that. Where do you want me to start with the identified risks and trends? So
Yeah, just
employees
start
receive
from the beginning.
okay,
Let's see.
the executive
Okay,
summary.
Excel, sorry. Okay, then let's go. Keep
Yeah.
going.
Yeah.
Summary of
So
finding.
from summary of findings, employees receive fraudulent emails. We found that to be high likelihood and
Yep.
medium impact and high risk level, and it's an
Okay.
operational risk. Unauthorized access, we thought that was a security risk, reputational, because if it was to get out, that would impact the how the
Hmm.
business is seen by other vendors, financial, because of if they were to be fined from a compliance perspective for that as well, that could be an issue. Legal as well, that could go
Yep.
into some sort of legal, depending on how much data um is taken, and then compliance, of course. Malicious software,
Can you
we thought
pause
that
one
was,
second? Can you
yeah,
pause? And this is for everybody. I didn't say this. I wanted to use a judgment call. If you feel because it's your business, it's possible you have multiple risk category, which they did have here, right? You could tell in some risk, they realized there are two risks we've identified there: reputational risk, operational risk. For example, the last one, vendor security vulnerability. So it's a possibility, and actually, it happens a lot. You might have multiple risks, and that would be valid. So it's not like I have to do it the way you do your own business. No, it's my business. I can tell you what are the risks I think certain areas, the categories to my own business, right? So I agree. Sometimes you might even have three. So one or two, two is common, is not an uncommon thing. So I like it. Can you scroll down a little bit, please?
yeah,
Let's see the action
the
plan here.
action plan. Action
Yeah,
plan,
let's see.
so phishing
Yeah,
attack, email
talk about the
filtering,
first. Talk
training.
about the phishing attack. Yeah, talk about that.
So the phishing attacks was fraudulent emails.
Yeah,
That's that email filtering training. Training is obviously important to make sure that everyone's aware of how to spot phishing attacks and the mitigation strategy, deploy advanced spam filters that would, and also not just that, but even sending every so often sending emails to the employees to find out,
yeah,
to gauge their
mm,
knowledge of how to assess when it is a phishing email, and then having that filter, having that sort of s- some, I think, some sort of icon to click to say this is a phishing email rather than opening it and then clicking that. So just to test employees'
got it.
understanding
Like
of
a
what is a
campaign.
phishing attack. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Unauthorized access to customer data, encryption, MFA. So how robust are the multi-factor authentications? What encryption are in place? So here it says mitigation, implement multi MFA, strong encryption protocols. Again, that is an IT security issue. Malicious
yeah,
software, endpoint protection, making sure that you install endpoint detection and response solutions, regular updates. And for GDPR non-compliance, that could be a serious legal and compliance risk, especially here in the UK,
yeah,
and reputational risk as well, because it will be published, meaning that other companies, everyone will be able to see what's happened in this case. And then vendor security vulnerabilities. You conduct regular vendor security assessments, and it's a procurement and IT security. And then we've got
perfect.
the timeline there
Yep,
of,
yep.
yeah.
Thank you so much, Bernice. I know it's late in the UK there, and
Yeah.
but thank you so much. That's awesome. Really, really well done. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank you.
appreciate it. Let's see, we can take one more. And apologies, folks. Please apologize. I know you guys were mad at me. You couldn't present. Let's take Zeki as the last one for tonight. We try to keep the time here, as part of our model here. All right, so go ahead, Zeki. Go ahead, please. Zeki.
Give me one
Okay.
second. I'm trying to like populate some stuff here, please.
If you cannot share, it's okay. Just let us know. Somebody else can just jump in for your group.
I was one sharing with my group.
Okay. And
mm,
while Zeki is figuring that out, just for some of you that have asked us about the upcoming program, it's very straightforward. Just go to academy.skillweed.com, and everything we do here, believe it, this is just like one of our classes. We have similar things we do for virtually every one of our, particular content. So just go to Skillweed Academy or academy.skillweed.com, And the second one is the registration there. Before you register, take
I think
advantage
I'm
of,
good
I
now.
think, one there also. Are you ready, Zeke?
Yeah,
All right,
let
go ahead.
me.
Okay,
So basically
make it quick.
what we did for our own group, this is what we came out with after I've been having some difficulty here trying to populate this information to come up clearly. I hope we can see my screen.
Yeah, we can just go ahead, go straight into it. The risk categorization. Can you
Okay,
pause there?
for the risk
Yeah,
category for risk categorization, we have I think the first one was done. So we went to the second, which is the competitors launch a similar product
yeah.
at a lower price. We have a strategic risk. Then we
Okay,
have shipping delays due to natural disaster, operational risk. And then we have regulations, fines for GDPR non-compliance. We had a compliance risk. And then for
okay.
the cybersecurity,
Do me a favor, brother. Can you go to the malicious software encryption critical system? No, you're there. I'm saying it. No, no, you're good. You're good. Go back up wherever you were. Yes. Talk about that because I noticed here you had security, financial, reputational. So that's awesome. Tell me what your thought process is there.
oh, okay, yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean, we had a group that was very
You
very
guys were
very learned
interesting.
on this part,
Yeah.
and it was very interesting because everybody had an idea, and their
Yeah.
point that they brought forth was really convincing. So we had to like, okay, you know
Yeah.
what, we had to settle for all these three. So for the
Okay.
malicious software encryption critical systems, damaging
Yeah.
payment for the decryption, we had a security,
Yeah.
we had a look at the security side, we had the financial side, and also the reputational side,
I
as
love
well
it
as
because,
uh-huh.
yeah, go ahead.
Well, for the failure to adhere to GDP requirements for data handling and the privacy protection, we had a compliance risk. And then for
Yeah.
the vendor, security vulnerability exposes the organization's data. We had a compliance. So we had also here on an uneasy camp where we had to like people we had to back and forth. So we had to like
Yeah.
respect time. We had to settle for compliance as well as for security purpose.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay.
The,
Let me see action plan. I like go down. Let me see
this is the
that
action
time.
plan.
Yeah. Short term, mid term, long term. Let me pause there, please. Oh, I like this. I love this. Okay. This is good. Now, in the future, we can even make it be included in that table so that our management will see it together. But this is
Okay.
good because what they did, and this is one of the biggest challenge I've seen in most organizations. You tell me there's a problem, okay, fine. The truth is that 90% of the time your leadership know there's a problem, right? That's why they brought us in. But the value you bring to me is one, tell me some of the mitigation strategy around this problem. That would help me. Then, secondly, which I think is the big one for us, don't forget these guys are just like you and I. They are looking for ways, and you've saved their life by saying this is a short-term action, this is a mid-term, this is a long-term. You've kind of planned for them. Of course, they'll make the ultimate call, but this will make their life easy because you've given them a different perspective to what is a priority. So whatever they have in their mind, they're going to consider you that, oh, this assessor, auditor came with this mindset. Let me see which one of them I agree with. From my experience, 80% of the time they will agree with you. But hey, a win is a win. I'll take that anytime. If you tell me, even if you agree with me 50%, I'll win. It's a win for me. 50% of something is better than 100% of nothing. So that's great, really. I love it. So make sure you always think from this angle when you do any kind of work because it's immediate value to your organization. They can see immediate instant value. Okay, cool. Thank you so much. Thank you, Zeke. Excellent job, folks. Very, very
Thank
well
you.
done.
Thanks,
I
team.
want
I can't
thank
take
you.
praises
I
for
mean,
myself.
amazing job, team. And I apologize, folks. I know some of you have so much to do and offer, but you guys would agree. If I keep you all here, you guys will be mad at me that hey, these guys are just keeping us forever. So, but for those of us doing our program coming, hey, this is just a tip of the iceberg. We create a community, that's our brand. In a few weeks from now, we would have our mobile application where we can all interact. Like all these groups now, we would have a way we can all connect to each other, exchange numbers, and have a platform to do that easily in the community. So look out for that. I know it's frustrating. All of us want to contact each other, but when we have the mobile app, it will be easier for us to do that as a community. We can share things and it will be more robust. And for those of you that asked about the upcoming program, also, it is quite straightforward. Just go to academy.skillweed.com. That is very easy. Just go there. And once you get there, feel free, just go ahead and register. And our commitment to our community is simple. We'll keep working out together. We are not of the illusion anything is automatic. We got to put the work right. So the work we'll put, go to academy.skillway. This is the internship we just did. If you've not registered, go there so that you can pick all the materials. It's all here. Then for the upcoming class, which starts on Saturday, thank you for all the folks that have registered. It's amazing. We have a lot of people already, and the slots are getting filled already anyway. So you can use the payment plan option also. Use the coupon code I was sent in the email. Feel free to do that. Another thing I want to call out is for some of us, we don't know we have a lot of resources on skillweed.com. Always go to the resource page. There are a lot of free ebooks there for you. Make sure you take advantage of it. Some of you are part of our CompTIA community. Once you are done with our program, we like to make you also prepare for the professional certification so that we can have bragging rights as you apply for jobs. It's mostly not 80% of our folks don't have it, let's be honest, before they get a job, but they would put in the resume and put in bracket in view that we're working towards it. So I'm not worried about that. You'll be fine because we're working towards it anyway. So it's not a big deal. But that's really it. And follow me on LinkedIn also. I've sent my LinkedIn to us. So make sure you follow me on LinkedIn too. And just keep doing great things. For some of you, that are at that position in life to even think of legacy for yourself and family, we have another program. Feel free, check us online. Also, I'm going to put the site there, landzeal.com. For a lot of you, if you want to educate yourself on land investment for legacy, now this is not crypto stock going up and down. You own a piece of America. It's amazing, beautiful. I'll send a group also. You can join that group. It's not for everybody. People that want to use land as a vehicle to build actual true wealth. I think it's one of the smartest things anyone can do. But that's my own personal opinion. Doesn't matter. But at the end of the day, just whatever works for you to be successful as a professional, we'll be here to support you all the way. And I look forward to having you guys on Saturday for those of you that are registered. And for those yet to register, feel free, join the club also, and let's do great things together. If you have questions, any follow up, just let us know. We would be happy to make sure we support you. Really, that's all we can do, folks. That's all we have. We have each other, and we have to realize that fact. Nobody's coming to save us. We got to help each other. That's all. No, nobody's coming for you and I. It's us. That's all we got. So put the work, put the effort. Let's keep doing great things together. And I wish you Godspeed, folks. Before we go, as always, we have a flagship program, a flagship song also, our Skillweed song. Enjoy it. Skillweed Academy song. Believe it or not, we generated this with AI. It's part of our AI class. Let me play it for some of you that have never heard this song before. It's a pretty cool song, AI generated. Again, look forward to seeing you guys at the class on Saturday. Let's have fun. Enjoy our flagship song. Thanks, everybody. Good night. God bless.
In the heart of Africa, a flame ignites, a rhythm so vibrant, it sets minds alight. Skillweed Academy, where leaders are born. Embrace the tempo, let your dreams take storm. Rise up, leaders, let the beat guide your